All right, it's 12 noon East Pacific time. My name's Joaquin Watai. I am the author of the book PTSD Dog, Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder, and the Service Dog. And I want to talk to you for a few minutes today about why service dogs are effective for PTSD. I'll try to make this quick, but there's a lot of ground to cover, so bear with me. And if you have any questions, you can post them here in the comments, or you can post them later. I will be checking back and seeing what your questions are and answering them to the best of my ability. So first of all, I'd like to share with you that I use my service dog daily. Even if it's just sitting around the house, if he's with me, my outlook on life and my responses to the things going on around me are completely different and completely calmer than they are if he's not by my side. A properly trained service dog anticipates your needs and responds to stressors before they become triggers. So first I want to talk a little bit about the difference between a stressor and a trigger. A stressor is that thing that gets you stressed out, that starts spinning up your reactions, that starts getting you on edge. A trigger is different in that when you are triggered, when you pull a trigger, the outcome is already given. The outcome is already known. You pull a trigger, something downrange gets destroyed. That's a trigger. So we can walk around getting triggered all the time, which means that we've got a set response. We know that this triggers rage or this triggers panic. So if you start looking at stressors, if you start looking at the things that cause stress to you, you can respond to a stressor and change the situation or change your situation, or you can react to a trigger. Service dog helps you get a service dog trained to respond to your anxiety, to respond to your panic, to respond to your rage, and kind of change your direction actually helps to counteract triggers. It helps to avoid triggers because when you're working with your dog, you're responding to stressors. And if I'm with my dog and he's relaxed in a situation or a location, then I'm relaxed. If he's not stressed, if he's not alert, if he's not looking around like something's going to come at us, then I'm not. And that works in the worst places. That works going through a Walmart. If Skeeter's calm and relaxed while he's at my side while I'm shopping, I know I don't have anything to worry about. If he starts to perk up and look at something, I start looking around to see what it is he's becoming too alert to. He is not trained in protection. In fact, the Department of Justice does not condone training service dogs for protection work, but he does have a natural instinct to respond to something that might cause me stress that could become a triggering event by counteracting me, by changing what I'm doing when it happens. A service dog is trained to be at your side at all times. That's important. Public access training for service dogs is very important. The whole point of using a service dog is that the dog is with you at all times to help assist you with dealing with your disability. In the case of PTSD, the fact that your anxiety and panic are so high at all times, your alertness, that hypervigilance causes you to be disabling. It causes you to be unable to do normal things like go to the grocery store because it's overwhelming. The hypervigilance is too much. The fear, the panic, the rage overcomes you, and you're unable to participate in those normal daily events. So having the dog with you at all times, especially when you're doing things like going to a grocery store, going shopping, going to a movie, is important. So training your dog for public access is extremely important. Your dog needs to know how to behave out in public. He needs to know to be quiet. He needs to know to stay out of the way of people. He needs to know not to react with aggression towards other dogs or other people. That's very important. Public access training is important. The other reason it's important that a service dog is with you, the dog is trained to be at your side at all times, is because his whole point, especially with a psychological service dog, is to alert you to your harmful behaviors or stressors. So if you don't have a dog trained to be with you at all times and alert and then change your direction when you're dealing with a stressful situation, why have a service dog? That's the whole point. But you've got to have him trained for public access in order to do that. The third reason why service dogs work really well for PTSD is because handling a dog forces you to develop new coping methods. And it's really that simple. Dogs do not respond well to anger. You find a dog owner who yells and screams at his dog, he maybe strikes his dog, jerks on its chain. You'll find a dog that's very stressed out, that's not focused, that can be very aggressive. However, when you see dogs that are calm and their owners are calm and they work together calmly, you see a whole different dynamic, and you see a dog that is supporting his handler, that is helping his handler through his day-to-day motions, going through shopping, whatever. And you have to learn that. You have to train yourself as you train your service dog to respond to situations calmly, with strength, but in a relaxed and confident manner. As long as you are relaxed, your dog can be relaxed. And when your dog is relaxed, you can be relaxed. It becomes a symbiotic relationship. You feed off of each other. You feed into each other. Service dogs reassure you in the time of anxiety or fear in situations that can be difficult. And the best way to teach them to do that is to give them an example by, in a given situation, working very hard to remain calm. And you can use the dog as part of your toolkit to remain calm. One of the things I've trained Skeeter to do in a stressful situation is to sit on my foot. And that gives me a grounding. He is reminding me by sitting on my foot that he's right there and that I can rely on him. And the other thing it does is he's a 100-pound Malamute. He's a big dog. The natural reaction when a 100-pound dog sits on your foot is to drop your hand and start petting him. And that has been medically proven to calm people, to release endorphins into their brain, lower dopamine levels, which lowers stress. And all of a sudden you find yourself in a situation where normally you might be becoming more anxious, you might be starting to panic or even rage. Instead, being calm, thinking about the situation, and choosing to respond to a situation instead of react. The fourth reason that service dogs work great for PTSD is because they allow you to overcome obstacles. One of the biggest complaints that I hear as I interview veterans across the country about PTSD is the isolation that they suffer from. It's self-induced. We isolate ourselves because if we're separated from all those things around us that can stress us, then they don't stress us. It's a natural reaction. It's a natural response. However, dogs need to be taken out. Dogs need to go for a walk. Dogs need to go potty. Dogs need to interact. Dogs are social creatures. So all of a sudden that isolation becomes less important because you, as the dog's handler, are catering to the dog's needs, even as the dog is helping you with your needs. Agoraphobia, fear of leaving the house altogether. Well, again, dogs have to go out. Dogs have to interact. Dogs are public creatures. They're pack animals. So it helps because all of a sudden you've got this dog who needs you, gives you a purpose. You take that dog out, and all of a sudden, instead of locking yourself away and hiding, you're reaching out, you're stretching out. And panic, things like panic and rage. The dog's competence and confidence enable you to, instead of responding to a stressful situation by being triggered and having panic or rage, the dog allows you, through working with him, to respond in other ways. peacefully, to remove yourself from situations, whatever you train your dog to do to help you. And the final reason why service dogs are great for dealing with PTSD is because having a service dog at your side opens doors. And what I mean by that is not that your dog goes and pushes the button and makes the automatic door opener work, although you can train your dog to do that. But when I'm out somewhere alone without my dog at my side, I tend to shut down and get that 1,000-yard stare. I lock off from the whole world around me. I don't even talk about the weather to strangers. I just get my business done and leave. Now, when I have my dog at my side and I'm confident and I'm calm, all of a sudden, there's a conversation piece. There's a place where I can reach out. There's a place where people can reach out to me. I used to suffer from crippling social isolation. I wouldn't talk to people. I wouldn't interact with people. Skeeter gave me a reason to. If somebody wants to approach me, 99% of the time, they're going to talk to me about my dog because he's right there. And I have found for me that I'm very comfortable being approached by people to discuss my dog, and from there can branch out and discuss anything else once that little bridge of comfort has been made. So those are 5 quick reasons why service dog is helpful for PTSD, and I'll run by them quick. First is that a properly trained PTSD service dog can anticipate your needs and respond before stressors become triggers. Second is that a service dog is trained to be at your side at all times. Third, handling a dog forces you to learn new coping mechanisms. Fourth, working with your service dog allows you to overcome obstacles. And finally, having a service dog at your side opens doors. I've got a couple things going on that you can help a veteran with. First of all, the links are in the comments. I'm pulling together a scholarship fund for one veteran. He has a dog. The dog responds to his stress, responds to his PTSD. He needs some help with formal training to get the dog suitable for public access. We're only raising $1,500 for this veteran. I am not receiving a penny of this. The only thing that comes out of it is whatever little percentage GoFundMe takes off the top. All the rest is going directly to his school. He's already been accepted so that he and his dog can get some formal training so that he can go out and start overcoming obstacles. The other way you can help is simply to donate to PTS Dog. I've got one more major road trip planned here in the next month or so to get final interviews, the final pieces of the puzzle to complete the book, which is on schedule to go to the publisher this fall. Thank you very much for your time. Thanks for watching. And as always, if you have any questions or have any support you can offer, contact the page PTS Dog. I'll answer your questions as best I can. I will respond as soon as I can. Thank you very much for your time. PTS Dog out.